Hello, everyone. uh, how are we doing? I'll try to manage. I'll try to manage. I get it. I get it. She's upset. She's upset because she wasn't allowed to be upset. Do you want to go there? Urgh. Nox, thank you so much for the resub. Welcome back. I'm so sorry about time zones. I don't like them either. It's like summertime on steroids, isn't it? So annoying. Hello, everyone. What Tooz is upset. She's grumpy right now. Winston is also upset for different reasons. In short, we had a visitor, the black cat that sometimes joins me and Winston on our walks. Decided to come by, and sometimes they play through the window, which is interesting because the black cat isn't really into getting too close in the wild, but he comes by to it's not aggressive. Trust me, I know when it's aggressive because Bo and that black cat used to fight all the time. But yeah, no, I'm creaky. Sorry, Toos doesn't like him, and Winston does. So they're having a bit of a moment. I'm having a morning. I had a minor endometriosis flare up during the night, which kept me up. Winston also kept me up, but that was funny. So I guess it was balanced. I'm okay. Just a bit tired, itchy because there's a cat hair everywhere. But I'm here, a little late, but better late than not, I feel like. Hi, Marty. How are you doing? Welcome in. Loop, loop, loop. No. I'm putting a pin in that. Hi, Erin. What are you going to do today? I hope something restful. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so creaky. I'll try not to move and to sit up straight, but it's not easy today. She was chewing stuff. Juice. And I took the thingy away because she does love the witch's broom. Maybe I'll hang it up somehow. But yeah, she does tend to eat weird things. She likes this one as well, but she tends to knock it down, and then there's chaos, and then she looks at me as if I did it, but I didn't. I didn't. I promise. Hi, Talos, beware, it might be chaotic in here. Yeah, I mean, that is in the message, isn't it? Sometimes I forget, but yeah. Honestly, Nox, I am jealous that you live in Alaska. I have been exposed to a lot of. I don't know why. I. I mean, I get it. I get why people get addicted to social media because I liked, like, two breathtaking people ice skating in Alaska with like mountains and sunsets that even Bob Ross couldn't dream up. And now I'm flooded with Alaska content every time I open Instagram, and I don't like it because I want to be there. I want to go there. I just don't think I'll ever be able to. So, Nox, if you have books that are from Alaska or are written by authors from Alaska and are about Alaska, please share them with me through. I should really just copy the link right real quick. Um, the sheet. It's also underneath the video about the hermit road trip. But there you go. If you know anything, please let me know. I need to make something on the about page for that, but I haven't been able to. She can be chaotic too. Yes, she definitely can. Rubbed up, but she has done so a few times, and I swear she doesn't learn. She doesn't learn. I called her, Millie. I called her because I saw that she was here. I didn't see that she did touched it, but I was like, "What are you doing? Get away!" Hi, Scraticus. Apparently, Jerry's good bench material. Bench material. What does it mean? I don't feel like that sounds nice. Both cats are upset. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. Uh, Except Atuz doesn't actually get upset that much, but this black cat was really a bully to Bo, which was really sad. Uh, but Winston likes him. Winston likes all cats we meet outside. It's not really mutual most of the time. He doesn't get it. Such a silly cat. I swear he can't go outside on his own. I wish he could sometimes because I think he might like it. But also he's an inside cat. I swear. Luckily, yesterday it started to rain, and usually people don't really go outside with their dogs for a long walk when it rains. So it's a little bit more safe for me to practice with the backpack that we got, and uh, he doesn't mind rain, but when it's too cold, he doesn't like it. It's so cute. You want to be an outside cat? You're mad. You're mad. You can't hear the creaks, okay? He is from Alaska. I thought he moved there. I thought he was from Florida. I think wasn't didn't he move there after he was stationed in Alaska for like he was in the Marines or something, something army related. Because apparently he started painting because he hated having to yell at the people in his like team. Let's get gorgeous, Millie. I love getting let's get around in GeoGuessr. I am not good at that game. I'm not. I'm very impressed by people who are. Hi Riku, how are you doing? I thought yeah, Millie. I thought he was from Florida as well, which as I remember was one of the reasons why he was so impressed with the verdant nature in Alaska. Not to mention the Northern Lights and stuff. The bench reference? Yeah, what is happening? Are you saying Cherry has a wooden delivery? There is no cherry wood here. I grow tired of these assertions. I don't know. I don't know, Scratings. I don't know. What are you going to do today? I read a little bit too much of what is it? Lessons in Drowning. Study in Drowning, almost. Close enough. Study on Drowning. I'm almost near the end. I technically I could probably finish it on stream, except that I don't want to. I want to be able to actually read and not be scattered around different subjects at once. I would like to be able to because I like it. I like this book. I like the way it's written. Now, of course, there's the apparently obligatory a bit of smut, but it was very short. It does worry me a little bit because there's a second book, and I have experienced several times that a story that does include a little bit of a sprinkling of smut then escalates completely in the second book. So I really hope that is not the case with this one because that would be sad. That would be sad. This is a weird world. I especially reading it next to something like the Memory Police, it's been a bit wild. But I'm too close to the ending. I don't want to read it during stream. I want to be able to focus and, actually process. So I decided, because I didn't prep any other books, and I want to read this anyway, I'm going to read To Clutch a Razor today. Is anyone joining me with a book? My dogs just got groomed and they hate the cold. Oh no, give them a coat. Give them a fluffy coat. Why are they groomed? I mean, I saw a video about, of those very fluffy dogs that get bootylicious cuts. I do like those. Why do we all know so much about Bob Ross? Because Bob Ross is amazing. Bob Ross is a hero. I have loved Bob Ross since before the internet. I still remember the first time I saw him on TV, and I was just hypnotized. And my little sister was in the room with me as well, and she was just like, "What are you watching? Like, this magic! Look at what he's doing! It's just out of nowhere." She didn't like it as much as I did. I'm very happy that more people know about him these days, because he was a bit obscured for a little bit there. It's like a Dutchie seeing a small hill and going, "Oh my God, look at the mountains! Are those elves?" Yeah, I do get upset about being on a mountain when there's houses on other mountains. My brain gets really upset about that because I'm just not used to people living on hills and stuff. So if I'm visually aware of houses being, oh God, I'm seeing Agatar. I had that when I lived in the UK. It really upset my brain to see flowing landscape and towns and stuff built on top of it. I get nauseous just thinking about it. Akutar was already mad, Nogs. I read that last year. I guess I'm glad that I can laugh along with the jokes that are really abundant in the book world, because those books are quite interesting, aren't they? I still have them because it's like I'm not going to put this in a free library where I'm 80% sure that there's going to be kids that are going to be interested in it, maybe even though it's English. No, can't do it. Yes, I'll take off the cover when I read, because I want to keep it nice. Snow stuck in their hair and it ball. Oh no, that's no good. That's no good, Knox. No, that's no good. All right, I get it. I was just thinking about sometimes people shave their entire cats, and I have never looked into it, so they might have very good reasons for doing it. But I also feel like, why do you get a fluffy cat when you then make it look like a very unhappy cat? I don't get that necessarily. Same, but still three people in the same chat knowing where he lived and where he was born. Oh, I'm not surprised, Millie. It just means that, how do you say this in English? I'm sure there's a saying for this, but in Dutch we would say like soort zoekt soort, like that the same kind of people find each other. What is? I'm sure there's a saying in English. Near Liverpool, Millie, up. I was still disappointed with the weather, so that kind of tells you how I feel about rain and stuff. It felt like the weather in the UK, people are very much exaggerating over there. It was just the same as over here. Really, maybe a little bit more rain, but not excessively. The weather was really, really pretty much the same as in the Netherlands. So I don't know what's happening over there, but I feel like there's no excuse. But then again, I crave dark and gloomy days. So I'm happy with the content that some of my favorite creators are putting up these days. Especially Jonna Jinten, who lives in Sweden. Oh, she lives in such a pretty, pretty little town. Arthur was such a cultural phenomenon, but I'm glad it opened the door to so much more to readers. Well, that's interesting, because I feel like it really started with 50 Shades of Grey, long, long time ago. I worked at the library when 50 Shades came out, and it was just before 50 Shades. It was a bit when women, because it was mostly women, it came out for a specific smut books that they would do it in a very not ashamed, but like let's keep it down, tone of voice, right? Um, and there were also books with some smut just scattered throughout the normal collection, but there was a specific corner for these tiny white books that were prevalent really when I was younger and before that, like before maybe still during the 90s, but mostly before that. Um, and there was a very extreme sudden shift from these books just being like in the collection but not very popular, and then the old ladies would go to the specific boutique and Candlelight were two publishers, I think. But then 50 Shades came, and we had dozens of copies of each book, and they were always out. And after that, people were just shameless about what kind of book they wanted, and I already was, but I became very, very well versed in the smut we had in the library, which was more than you would imagine. But it was still recognizable. And my problem with it is that these days it's no longer recognizable, and it's in every book. And I don't feel like that's necessary. But yeah, I was there. I was there on ground zero. And I really truly feel like 50 Shades was the beginning. Uh, like. Oh, what did I say, Millie? Uh, I'm gonna be a bit fuzzy today, which is why it's good that I'm just reading, so I don't have to actually say things too much. I could just talk about books. Um, interestingly enough, I am also reading Gabriel's Inferno, the series, because it was a favorite of Erin back in the day, and she was rereading it, and I was like, I'll jump on. She wanted to know what I thought about the characters. Um, uh, and there's three books, so I'm gonna continue. And Gabriel's Inferno was released just a few months before 50 Shades. Gabriel's Inferno was in April, I think, of 2011, and 50 Shades in June. So really around the same time. Um, and after over a decade of observing certain popular things in the mostly female side, on the mostly female side of the book world, there are cycles of subjects that are um, flooding the market every year, really. So it's been interesting. Like vampires were a thing for a while, and then it was the hot CEO, I guess, or man in power at least. So I am starting with the second book. I have started. I didn't get very far because I finished the Memory Police and I thought I can't sleep with this image in my brain. Let's start Gabriel's Inferno. Gabriel's Rapture is the second book, but the Whiplash was too bad. I couldn't, so I only made it 11 pages in of the 560 according to my e-reader. Oh, that was about the Sword Took Sword. Like likes like. Yeah, that doesn't sound good, but I feel like there's a specific saying for that. When oh, birds of a feather. It's birds of a feather flock together. That is the saying in English, I think. Like attracts like is a very close one, more recognizable compared to the Dutch one. And definitely less confusing, Millie. But yeah, it's birds of a feather, isn't it? Yeah. So I'm not sure what that tied back to, but yes. uh, Smut books. I mean, when was it? Let me see. It was actually kind of funny what happened because a detail to me, if a book that is close to or at least tries to actually accomplish um, perfection is a book that is cohesive throughout. So something that happens in the beginning isn't just um, random. Oh, hold on. So, oh, that was it. Thank you, Millie. I have so many thoughts today. I can't keep track of them. Uh, See, now I lost track again because Tus is being adorable. But she couldn't lie down. There was a book in her place. Oh, um, the details throughout the book. I mean, not everything needs to mean something or tie back into something, but when there's scenes that seem in the beginning not pointless, but a little bit like I'm not sure what was the point. When that later comes back in a very big way, I love that. And I had just discovered such a detail in a study in drowning, and I wrote in my commentary like, "Yes, I love this. This is amazing writing. I I surrender to you, Ava Reed. I trust you." And like 20 pages later, smut like, "No." It was kind of funny, and I needed that. Like, why? Why? I mean, it wasn't too bad. It didn't. But still, I just don't need it. Just fade to black. We can imagine as much or not as we want in that case. Yeah, it was about Bob Ross, the birds of a feather, Bob Ross. Yeah, it makes sense to me. I'm not surprised. I would be more surprised if no one knew about Bob Ross because there was a big chunk of my life where if I ever mentioned Bob Ross, people would accuse me of being an old grandma. And I was like, yeah, what do you mean? Yes, I am. And now everyone is talking about him again, but that's okay. He deserves to be remembered. He should be remembered. And one day, I hope to still do a video about with me following Bob Ross well, is it a tutorial? It's more like magic, isn't it? It's just watching magic. But I would love to one day do a Bob Ross painting alongside him without pause, because that's how people would originally have had to try and do it, right? Unless you had a tape recorder, which, I mean, I guess it was pretty common, but there must have been people who had set up their stuff and were just with their bucket and their palette and their white. What is the word? The something white. He talks so wonderfully. And I'm sure there's people who actually follow along at his pace, and I want to do that. I want to do that desperately. I think that would be fun and chaos. Don't know how to keep away the cats though, because I'm assuming they're gonna be thinking it's funny. I think most people were recorded on pause. No, wait, let me see. I don't want to believe that. I mean, yes, of course. Of course, people do that. But I want desperately to believe that when Bob Ross was on TV, he was an Air Force Master Sergeant from 1942 to 1995. See, that's why he went into painting, to calm down, and then he started to give lessons to his, like, people, and they realized that he was quite great. I need to keep an eye on the time, because I am going to read to Clutch Your Razor in about 4 minutes. And I will be muting myself, so I can try to focus, you can try to focus. And if there are black kitties upsetting my kitties, then you won't notice. Bob Ross fighting with his paint teachers. They tell you what makes a tree, but they wouldn't tell you how to paint a tree, which is why he started doing it. Why was I here again? I want to know when he was on TV. He was the father of ASMR. Hello? Why can't I find it? Money sucks. This is why I haven't watched the. There's a documentary about him, which is it's really sad. They really milked him. It's actually really sad. And I read about that just now. Liquid white marshmallow white. I don't know. I don't know. Cadmium white? No, this is cadmium yellow. Oh no. Hi, Cyber Segways. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. We are going to go into a focus sprint in about 2 minutes, during which I will turn on my timer and mute myself so you can listen to your own music or just sit in silence and try to focus. You are very much allowed to just stay in chat as well, naturally, and keep each other company, which would help me as well. But basically, I'm going to try to practice flow today, or focus. You did buy all the stuff to follow along with him, but failed. He's quick, isn't he? Which is why I think it would be funny to just go, right? Not if he moves on and you're not quite finished with what you're doing. Well, that's it. You're moving on, and I just want to see what happens. Um, it's basically the same mindset as I have decided to take on for next year, which is, I'm not gonna do this is gonna be my year. I'm gonna do this and that. And no, I'm not. I'm just gonna survive. That's all I want. I just want to get through it. That's it. That's all I want. And while that sounds very pessimistic, it's quite freeing actually. And I think doing something like that, like a speed running of Bob Ross, even though it's real time running of Bob Ross, I think that would be the perfect chaos to actually balance out the negative part. Did you know that most AWH starting words actually used to start with a... No, I didn't. That looks so confusing. It looks wrong. Titanium white. Yeah. He says it in such an amazing way. I love the episodes where he takes a little animal with him because he loved animals and he rehabilitated a lot of them, like squirrels and stuff. Oh, liquid. Oh, right. Yeah, I yes. You would coat the canvas in to keep it wet, as he would say it. Yeah, yeah. So you could blend better or something. Honestly, usually when I listen to Bob Ross, it's really to just zone out and disappear in the magic of the colors because he's fucking magical. I'm sorry for my French. All right, I'm gonna mute myself. I'm gonna read. And I follow an etymology podcast. I learned that fact there. Really? That looks confusing. I mean, language is interesting. All right, I will be reading To Clutch a Razor, the second book in the Curse Bearer series by Veronica Roth. I'll let you know how it goes, but I am now gonna shut up, get myself tabs because I don't have tabs here. This is what it looks like. I'm excited. All right, let's get to it. I'll see you in 30 minutes. last minute or so. All right. I actually got some reading done. It's a miracle. I didn't spend 90% of the first print slapping my cat. she's she's really in the now. That's really unusual for Toos because of the black kitty, and we were both observing Winston prowling around. Anyway, how did it go? We're taking a 10-minute break, and then we're going into a power hour. I'm excited. I love this book. So, what was the title of the first one? I am reading To Clutch a Razor. It was gifted by me to me by Anne the Fixer. And When Among Crows. When Among Crows was the first book. I think I got it through Carrie Can Read. I think she made a short about it. And hold on. No. You're a good boy. Remember? You're a good boy. Toes, don't growl. You make it worse. If he just walks by, don't growl. Oh my god. It's like having kids, I swear. They are so brother and sister coded. It's not even funny. Please, I have a bit of a headache. Can we please? Thank you. Dang it. The first book. I'm going to try to explain it very short. It's an urban fantasy. Honestly, I didn't realize there were so many subgenres. I will mess up, but I think this is urban fantasy. Let me just look it up. Why am I being difficult? And To Clutch a Razor, When Among Crows was hold on, because there's already something happening that makes me feel like, oh gosh, I think this is going to end bad. I think this is going to end bad. The quote in the beginning and the title and knowing what I know from When Among Crows. Oh no. Fantasy, urban fantasy, novella. Do you want water? Winston, can you wait like 10 minutes? Very dainty. Okay. There's some, oh no, LGBTQ plus in there as well. Oh, it's gone. Um, oh. Oh, and Gabriel's Rapture isn't in there either. Oh, I should update my Goodreads in a bit. I will do that. I'm reading this right now. It's only 229 pages. Let me go to the first one. I don't wanna accidentally spoil it, but I want to let you know what the first one is about. I loved it. I think I really like urban fantasy. When it's too heavy on the fantasy, I kind of lose interest. I like magical elements, but I don't like when it's too heavy in the story, if that makes sense. I'm character-driven story reader. Um, So Goodreads says on Kupala night, Demeter arrives in Chicago, monstrous magical underworld with a perilous mission. Pick the mythical fern flower and offer it to a cursed creature in exchange for help finding the legendary witch Baba Yaga. Ala is a fear-eating Zamora afflicted with a bloodline curse that's slowly killing her. She's just desperate enough to say yes to Demeter, even if she doesn't know his motives. So he is a hunter of her kind, or, well, her genre of kind, and they have to work together. But basically, they're enemies, right? So it's a bit of an enemies to lovers story, except it's not what you think. And it's too short. The first book of this series, I think it's going to be a duology. I hope so. It was only 166 pages. That was not enough. I was through that in 2 hours, and I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean this is everything? You could easily have written a trilogy of 500 pages. What are you doing? But I guess it's a good way to rein in some new readers, or readers who don't quite have the stamina for a big book yet. Because it's a great story. It's a great story. I love it. And I am also just partial to, you know, Eastern, Northeast, South, Eastern, Eastern mythology and folklore, and that's what this basically ties into. Catherine Arden did it better, though, I have to say. Not just because the books are longer, but because I don't know. I can't say too much about that. I am going to try to pick that up before the end of the month as well, because it's been a year that I read the first book from the Winter Night trilogy, The Bear and the Nightingale, Catherine Arden, and I feel like it's time to read it again, and now I know what's going to happen. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to discover a few pearls in there. It's such a good book. No, I don't, Lou. I don't love short stories. No, I don't at all. I despise. No, that's too harsh a word. I think written like this, it's perfect. So with that, I mean, the font isn't obnoxiously big as well. And I say that from my experience. I'm not judging. I just feel like when the type is too big, I feel, yeah, I can make a 30-page story look like a novella as well if I have a font size 20. You know, I feel like it's just a waste of paper. You don't do that. Don't do that. And there's actually good chunks of page, not like, yeah, like this basically. Not too much white. If there's a whole lot of talking, sometimes the sentences are a little bit too simplified for me, and that leaves a lot of white space, because sentences are short, and you switch person who is talking. What is happening? Are you okay? What's happening? I don't know what you just saw. What? He's not here. Calm down. I'll play with you in a little bit. I'll play with you in 3 minutes, okay? Deal? Compromise? Hello? I'm talking to you. But compromise? Hello? Don't eat that. Don't. What are you doing? What is that? It's a piece of bread. You can have that if you want it. Hi Garfield, good morning. I was doing some Christmas shopping pre-work this morning, and the store was in Easter eggs. What do you mean? What do you mean? Oh God, I'm gonna have a seizure. What do you mean? Oh no, this is funny. I'm gonna have to look very upset. I'm so sorry, but the man that has stalked Winston and me is the sole reason that I actually had to give up, because he kept approaching me and saying, let's go have a look at the funny dog. Even though I made it very clear that I not only did not want him to approach me, I wanted him to actually leave me the fuck alone. He is now standing in front of my house. So if I look like I'm giving someone a death stare, it's because of that. So much fun! Because it means he knows where I live now. And I have to make sure that he knows I am not afraid. The most effective thing to chase people away, in my experience, and unfortunately, is just looking at them without blinking and not saying anything. So they can come to the conclusion themselves that they're being creepy. God. I'll do that off screen though. I won't let you see my death stare too much. I have to go get coffee and play with Winston anyway. That's absurd, Garfield. It's not even Christmas. Ah. Right. I love dogs. It's the people. It's the people that have the dogs. All right, we're going into a power hour. Thank God, so I can calm down because I don't like that he actually knows where I live now. This is bad. This is kind of bad. I'm gonna mute myself. Thank you for the follow, Sweet Pink Fox. That's a great name. Welcome in. I'm going to mute myself and continue to read. Play a little bit with Winston though, if he still wants to, because this man he's still in front of my window. Like actually. Let me know what you're up to. Hi, One Winter Leave. Thank you. Yes, I loved Mythos, and I am going to continue the rest of the series next year. But I have to go right now because we're sort of a focus productivity stream. We try to be, but I am chaos, so I apologize. If you're reading as well, let me know what you're reading. I want to know. Um, thank you. I will see you in about an hour. Good luck. Thank you for the follow. last minute. Okay. I mean, I'm getting some reading done. At least we're taking a 10-minute break, and then we're doing one more sprint. If you're up for it, I am. I do want to read. um, yeah, I'm sorry about that. Before the power hour, there's this one man in particular who actually stalked me through the park. It's an entire park, and the last time I saw him was when it was still dark in the morning, and I observed him from the other side of the park, and I waited to see what direction he went in. And then I started walking, and at the moment I started walking in the opposite direction, he saw me change direction and followed me on my heels, walking quite a bit faster than I was. So I turned around and told him to back off. Please, there's a whole park. Why did you change direction? I purposefully waited for you to choose a direction so I could avoid walking into you when it's still dark in the morning in a park where it's usually dead silent. The only people don't go into the park usually. They go around the park in the morning. So that was just a weird, and he came up to me a few times, even though I made it very clear. Well, the first time just by looking at him, very disappointed. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? This is just, it's not. Don't approach women who are clearly not here for random old men. And also, especially not with a dog when the woman is walking around with a cat on a leash. Just don't do that. And I am really sure that he's been following me around because I recognize patterns, and not only because autism, but because of my panic disorder. I am just very aware of the rituals and the patterns of the people that live in my surrounding area. And he follows me. I know this for a fact. And now he came into view in my window, and we locked eyes, and now he knows where I live. So I'm a bit upset about that because he does it on purpose. I know a lot of people, when I start talking about this, they say it's probably a coincidence. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure, because I know the patterns of these people, and they actively change direction. He's the worst of them, though, and the actual final drop that I decided to change my habits. And what do you know? He changed his habits as well. So I started to come across him even at 5 in the morning, even though before that he never showed up until 7. So it's just, especially as a woman, you're just aware of these things, all right? And that was. He stopped in front of my fucking window and started staring at me. Now I have to find out where he lives. That's the next step. So Winston is very upset because that dog, we just have a bad experience with that dog as well. So Winston was very restless, and he wants attention now. I gave him some snacks, and he seems calmer. One thing that is cute is that he does use the backpack that was gifted by Loop sometimes to seek for cover, which is really adorable. Unfortunately, the circumstances are just disappointing. I'm so disappointed. Also, Winston is not graceful. He can be, but in a very awkward, fawn kind of way, unstable on his legs, and I guess in a clumsy way he can be, but also he's not. That's scary that he knows where you live now. Yeah, I know, right, Luke? That's why I'm still a bit shaken up, to be quite honest. But that's why I said I'm gonna look very very weird, because I have to show a face to him that shows that I am not impressed, even though I'm not impressed, but like I am worried that he now knows where I live. That's never a good thing. If men that follow you around know where you live. But yeah, I couldn't hide anymore. He had already seen me. So that's why I had to be a little bit confrontational. I sat by the window playing with Winston and just kept staring at him to let him know that I see you as well, all right? I see you. I know what you're doing. It was ridiculous that I have to do that on my own home. God dang it. Hunt him with a pan or a rolling pin. I have cast iron pans. I will put them by the door tonight. Carry a house brick? Honestly, no. I just don't go outside. I just don't go outside anymore. Why do you think I do? Because it's just ridiculous. I don't know why people do this. I mean, I do. I was shown an article by someone about what um, criminals do, well, what criminals look for when they're looking for a victim. And I basically look like a prime victim. Like, I mean, I try to be better at it now. Like, I try to pretend that I'm badass when I'm walking outside. So there's a certain composure of your shoulders back at, not looking around too skittish, which I do because I'm basically in a panic state no matter when I go outside. It's just CPTSD. But also your hair in a bun, being smaller of stature, wearing a backpack. All these things are things that people with bad intentions look for because it makes you an easy target. Your hair can be grabbed. I'm not big, so I can just be lifted and carried off. Uh, and I'm skittish, and they smell that. The people like that smell it. So, I don't talk about all the things that happen to me because it just sounds stupid. It sounds stupid, and even I don't know why. At some point, it's just like, am I asking for it? Like that sentence, and that's the worst part. Like, I'm I wear an oversized men's coat when I go outside, just to hide as much as possible from my body. Yeah, no, that's not enough. Can you express your concerns to the police? They don't care, Blue. Let's not get into that because they don't care. I already know that. It's just traumatizing and disappointing to try and notify the police about stuff like this. Unless I am very lucky and I get a woman on the phone, which has happened once, the male police over here really doesn't care. And I'm not really surprised, just disappointed. And let's bound high. Buy a baseball bat? I could. I could. Strange. This is a strange town. I know. Nothing I can do. Just don't go outside. Seems like it is going from just a chance meeting in public to stalking, kind of. And the thing is, it's not the first time that happened. This is not the first time. Some of you might know the story about I mean, I call him a serial killer on purpose, even though I don't know for a fact. But like the guy that came to my house pretending to be from the internet provider, wanting to get inside my house, even though he wasn't from the internet provider. I checked. I called him. But he was trying to get inside my house with a cardboard box with very suspicious looking stuff like rope in it. And his shoes were untied. It was very scary. So yeah, if you wonder why I don't go outside, it's because they find my home, man. I don't have to go outside. Luckily, I'm reading something very interesting, which is also making me think about the subject of what is wrong and what is right, and heroes versus monsters. So that's curious. This bone should be beaten into a fine powder. Nah, you should I don't know, just leave me alone. I honestly generally don't feel bad towards these people. I just think they're very sad. And I hope they find their karma. That's all I can do. I don't wish them bad things. I want them to leave me alone. And Winston, because I just feel like that man in particular, I really don't know. But this is just a weird town. I've known this for a while because I volunteered at a store in town where I helped the family. And the I'm gonna tell you one thing. There was once a guy that was sort of familiar to the store. I knew his face. He would come in every week. And one day, when there was no one else from the store, I'm not kidding. I'm not making this up. He looks at me, and it was so unexpected. He looks at me, and I draw on my eyebrows. I have eyebrows, but they're too blonde. You don't see them. I draw on my eyebrows, and he comes up to me, and he actually puts his finger in my face, touches my eyebrow, and he asks, "Are they real?" It was so unexpected that I couldn't even step back. I just stared at him. I'm like, please don't touch me. What is this? I need to grow 20 centimeters. I think that will fix it. Hi, Storm. How are you doing? Oh, if you had legs made of meat and powder, he'd leave you alone. Huh? What is that a reference to something? Jethro Tull song. What just started playing in my brain? I don't know. Aqualung? I don't know that song. Anyway, we're going into a sprint. I'm gonna shut up. I have so many stories. I don't even dare tell like the tip of the iceberg of them because it just sounds like I'm making it up. I promise you. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was so shocked. Like, no, never mind. I don't know who touches an eyebrow storm. He literally went, just, and I had my hands full. I had like breakable stuff in my hands, so I couldn't do shit. But I mean, he didn't. He's not. He's probably not exactly kosher, but also there wasn't actually a lot of bad intention. He's just not very smart. I learned throughout the time that I was there. So he was. I didn't feel too bad. I was just baffled. Like, what are you doing? Ask that without touching me. No, no, it's fake. All right. I am a gremlin. I keep telling you. I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna try to read a little bit more. I've made it to page 54. Let's see if I can make it to 100. No, never. I'll see you in half an hour. Good luck. last minute. This day is not going very well. I'm sad. I'm sad and disappointed today. Not in what I did, but just everything outside is not. I'm not going outside. I had plans, but I give up. I give up. It's not. Sometimes I can feel it. Like if I go outside now, something is going to go wrong. So I'm so sorry for Winston, but we're not going. I'll just give him. I'll just give him a kippy. Chicken. Boiled chicken. He loves that. Thank you so much for the follow. Don't think I said your name, Winterleaf, but welcome. And Durber? Durber? What do I do with your name? Hello, welcome. Thank you for the follows. I don't know if he is. You look uncomfortable looking at. Yeah, no. It's just now I'm gonna be on edge for the rest of the day. It's probably gonna be better tomorrow when the shock has worn off. But just in that moment, the initial moment really took me off guard, and having to stare a man down is not exactly fun, you know. And now he knows where I live, which is upsetting. But then again, it's not really the first time, so you know, which is not making it better either. The thing that is kind of the last drop is that they started doing maintenance on. It's far away, but I can still see it, and that just upsets me because it's not maintenance. It's not you're killing the stuff that the animals need to get through the winter. What are you doing? It's food. You're just all the brambles are food for animals. It's this place of safety for animals, and it's not part of the park. So you know nothing to do about it. But it just upsets me to see that. Silly people indeed. But that means that I wanted to go somewhere else with Winston. So not the park where I usually walk with him, because I feel. Which sounds insane to say now. I feel like we're confident. I don't feel confident at all at the moment, but I feel like both Winston and I have gotten more comfortable with the idea of the backpack, taking him outside in a backpack, and like that he stays put when I click on the leash on his harness, which is already on when I put him in the backpack. And I feel like we've gotten comfortable enough with that process to venture into new spaces, but. Given that thing with the guy, and I just didn't have a good night to begin with my stupid uterus. It's probably for the best that I don't risk going into a different place with my cat. If only because the maintenance could mean that they're also working where I plan to go with him. And if that's the case, that could be trouble, because I'm talking like huge machines that are you know. Think of Ferngully. That is my experience when people do maintenance in places where nature could just be left alone, because people don't use it. People don't go there. It's an in between space. I always feel like Ferngully. What? Oh, hi, co-player. Yes, it is. It sure is, because I made it myself as well. It's actually because I record a kind of podcast outside with these earbuds. And this is the best way to make sure that even though I want the ambient sounds of forests and nature, the wind was a bit distracting. So I came up with this. Do you like it? It's quite effective, I would say. I like this book, actually. I want to talk about this one and about Wheel of Time. Right? I thought about it. It's actually, it was a very cute, I demolished a very cute headband that had two little ears, bear ears. But I bought it specifically because it had fur. And yeah, here we are. Someone came in chat and said it looked like a tampon. So I like your coming in a little bit better, even though the tampon was quite illuminating as well. I launched a writer's insight on TikTok. Are you on TikTok? Oh gosh. Oh no, Storm, be careful. How do you like it? I'm not a fan of TikTok, I have to say. It's interesting platform. Let me just say that. What is the purpose? What I mean, writers, but like what is the idea? Can you explain? I read To Clutch a Razor during stream today, which is the second book in the Curse Bearer series. The first book was called When Among Crows. It was written by Veronica Roth, and in short, it's about a hunter and a Zamora that need to work together to fix the problem that they're having. Well, that is the first book, where they meet and, try to reconcile their differences and the fact that they're basically like enemies. And this is a continuation, naturally. And the thing I wanted to mention, that is beneath the lines really, is that this story really makes you consider the difference between right and wrong, and how in the eyes of one person you could be a monster, while in the eyes of someone else you could be a hero. And it is not entirely clear who is who in this series. I mean, maybe it is, but also is it? And that's fascinating. It's truly fascinating. And there's a contemplation of time and wisdom, and how those two are not actually a guarantee of someone being mature. There's a lot of layers in this short story novella. I need to check. Is there going to be a third book? Because I would not mind if this was a whole Discworld length series. You're trying to get back to reading? What did you like to read before? That would be one way to use a tampon, I guess, as a muffler. It certainly gave me an idea in case I run out of this fluff. But I do have left some. Why can't I click on the series? Oh, here. No, book, not nook. I think I already did this. I think I was already... No, you're just... This is, I don't think... Let me do this. We had an incident in my city where wildflowers were planted on an embankment to replace the grass so it would not have to be mowed. Of course, later on the mowers went through and mowed down all the flowers. Yeah, this is what's happening here as well. It doesn't make any sense. Not just my flowers. My flowers are protected. I have made sure that they're not touching my stuff anymore. But like there's places where one part of the government is intentionally trying to create places for insects and stuff and small animals to live, because we're killing the planet, people. We need what we call weeds. We need that. And the maintenance that they would have done on my little... I mean, I can't call it a garden. It's not. I don't feel like it's a garden because it feels too urban. But my little fence and stuff. It looks, if you are very human minded, to just put it into words, you might think that it's just weeds. But for one, weeds were marketed as weeds because people realized that they could make money from these flowers and these herbs in pills and in teas. But if people could grow them in their gardens, or worse, if it just grew in their gardens out, just because it's natural for these flowers and herbs to occur in a certain country or place, that's bad. So we were brainwashed into thinking that the stuff that grows naturally are weeds and need to be get rid of. In fact, not only are they not weeds, you probably pay money for supplements that have the things that you take out of your garden, um, and all the food, all the little birdies that eat the seeds of the flower stalks that I left standing, and they look scraggly if I look from the perspective of people who do maintenance on nature. But I know that every day, twice a day, there's a whole flock of chickadees that comes and picks off the seeds of these dead flowers. So it's just upsetting to me to see them do maintenance on places that are just no one comes there. No one comes there. It's not. It's never mind. That's why I closed the curtain so I couldn't see it anymore. It looks like a choked weasel dressed for a birthday party. Let's call it that. It's a choked weasel going to a, well, maybe to a rave. I haven't been sucked into the norm of constantly scrolling through TikTok, so I have that going for me. I started both of those so I can connect with other writers and promote my works to the world. That's great. Yes. Also, you can curate your dashboards, your For You page, I guess. I don't really spend time on TikTok at all. I once did for work because I needed to write something, like an article on something, and it needed to be from TikTok. But that's really, I post work stuff, book stuff. But if I'm gonna scroll anywhere, it's gonna be Instagram. But on the page where I only see the people that I have followed. I think that's the best way to go about it. I have a lot of Stephen King books stored away in my closet. I currently wait. That is so funny because I was gifted that book because it's one of the 11/22/63 John F. Kennedy, right? By Loop. Loop gifted that book to me, and it's one of the books that was submitted by Loop. Actually, it's for a Hermit road trip that I'm going to start next year over on YouTube, which is basically me going to travel the world, but instead of leaving my house, I just read books. I thought that was a better idea because I don't want to leave my house. It's dangerous outside. Hi Nordic, how are you doing? Wait, hello. I need a doc. Do you need me? I can make a call. I can call. I can't speak German though. Is that okay? If I just speak in Dutch, will they be confused enough to just say okay? Or both immune to the black hole of social media? Yeah, I mean, I just cry too easily. I don't get it. Oh no. Aren't there content creators these days that make calls for you like that? They're usually a joke, but I bet you could make them make a serious call as well. I didn't realize the date was, the famous Kennedy date. My grandpa actually had a weird fascination with that situation. Oh, wait, what's happening though? Are you okay? For TV, it was a miniseries with him, not a movie. I can deal with miniseries, but movies? Oh no, I missed it. Are you German or Dutch? A cool player. I am Dutch. It seems. I can understand German, but I don't think I can convincingly. I can call and I can just say verdammt noch mal and immer geradeaus. Verdammt noch mal. Those sentences make no sense. I know. But the first one, the verdammt noch mal, my sister hated it when I said that for no reason. I never found out why. She would just get upset at me and say, "Don't say that." Very weird. When we were very young, so I said it a lot. And immer geradeaus is something my grandpa taught me to say. This is a bit mean, I know, but he was a trucker in Germany for like his entire life, his entire working life. He was a trucker in Germany, and he would say if someone from Germany ever asks you for directions, just say immer geradeaus, no matter what they're asking for. And he meant it as a joke, but also that's a bit mean, isn't it? I know the sentence now. He probably had his reasons. Yeah, I'm sure he had his reasons because he loved German folk music. I inherited a few of his mixtapes, which were interesting, like actual. What is it called? What is it called? Actual German, the music they play in like taverns, I guess. I need to turn off my music because I closed the window and now you can hear it. Mr. In Between is a great miniseries if you're into those. I mean, into miniseries is a big statement, but I don't mind them as much as I do movies. Movies are just I can't. 10 episodes. The lead actor is James Franco. James Franco. James Franco. Let me see. 2016. Yeah, no, I was really, really not watching anything anymore. A Hulu series. Oh. 10 episodes isn't too bad. I am uncertain about James Franco. I don't know about him. Plot twist, Jerry's actually Hungarian living in Turkey who translates Chinese manuals for a French motor company. Shh, Storm, don't call me out like that. A lot of people in the beginning, when I first started streaming, people did think a lot that I was Eastern European, which was interesting. Mr. In Between has 2 seasons, each comprising of 6 30-minute episodes. 30 minutes? 30 minutes? That is upsetting. That is upsetting. Why 30 minutes? Isn't it normally either 20 or 40? If it's a short episode, that's upsetting. There was some stuff that actually that came out about Franco. I can see why. I don't know what you're talking about, but I just always, there's something about his face. What came out? Oh no. Was he on the list? I mean, who isn't on the list? Is my question. I think we could. It's better if we start assembling a list of people who aren't on the list. The list. You have the book, Erin? It's gonna be an honorary German, a little bit. I do have a history with the language quite intensely, so. Wait, what was it? The book. The book is a submission for the Hermit Road Trip, Erin. So that's a fun book probably to read when I am 2, but that's gonna be next year. I'm not starting that until next year. Several of Stephen's books, but I'm too fucking scared. It's Stephen King. I have read a few of his lesser known. Well, not all of them. I loved Gary. And a book that I read several times from him was The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon. I don't even know if anyone knows about that at all. If it is a commercial TV, then a 30-minute episode will have 15 minutes of ads. I mean, exactly. What is that? He abuses actor school thingy for... Wait, really? sad, but not surprised. Oh my god. Never mind. This these websites are absolutely insane. Sick note for Hippo. Dear boss, a book has fallen onto my foot and I can't breathe. I must attend the emergency room immediately and therefore I will be in absentia for the rest of the day. Signed my doctor. Yes. Yes. Mm, I need to stop the sentence. That goes too far. Reject all the cookies. I make my own. His own? Wait, he had his own acting school? Oh no, he did. He did. He did it. Oh no. No. He went on a 4-year hiatus after that, and over the course of, he says, over the course of my teaching, I did sleep with my students, and that was wrong, he said, explaining that after doing a lot of work on himself, he identified an imbalanced power dynamic as a problem. That's a start. I don't think that's where it ends. What the hell? I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. He's severely the problem is an imbalanced power dynamic. No shit, Sherlock. Oh no, I'm so sorry. What the hell? Oh no. Yeah, he's a bit of a dirty birdie. Knew it. I had no idea this was actually like known. I just got a icky feeling. No, it's something about his face. I don't know. I can't explain. I can't explain. Sometimes I just have icky feelings about people, and it's not always true. Sometimes it's just me. Because if you've seen Atonement, you may know that Benedict Cumberbatch, wonderful name, he is in there. And I really hope he's a good person because my first exposure to Cumberbatch was in Atonement, and he, to me, when I watched it for the first time, because I was younger, naturally, he did the role that he played so well. He freaked me out so well that I was actually afraid of, of Benedict Cumberbatch for quite a few years because I just associated him with the role he has in Atonement, and I was not. I was so freaked out. Um, and then he got Sherlock, the role in Sherlock, and it was a bit better. And then I saw the video of him of Bear Grylls turning into Benedict Cumberbatch, and then I realized, oh, it's okay. If you haven't seen Bear Grylls turn into Benedict Cumberbatch after a bee sting, please go search for that video and look at it because it might make your day. Sometimes when I'm sad, I think about it and I feel a little bit better. Not great, but just a little bit better. Wait, what? He recently resurfaced on the internet by appearing in a famous YouTuber's video. Wait, whoa, no. I did see something about a hiatus and then coming back. I didn't scroll down entirely because I kind of... I don't know. Sick note for James Franco. Dear boss. He was the boss! He was the boss! That's the problem! A student has fallen... I'm sorry I'm yelling. Onto my turbulent regions and I can't breathe. I must attend the emergency room immediately and therefore I will be in absentia for the rest of the day. Signed, James Franco. Yeah, pretty much. Turbulent regions. Oh my gosh, wait, what was it? What was I reading last night? The Magic Mountain. I need to research Thomas Mann. Ken iemand... Ken iemand... Can someone tell me? That was because I wanted to switch to German, but Dutch came in between. Does anyone know about Thomas Mann? What his affiliation was back in around the 1930s? Because I might need some disclaimers when I talk about the Magic Mountain. Yeah, it was the Magic Mountain. I'm so confused. Uh, what is the conversation they're having at the moment? I don't even know. I just went through a whole concert, and we never leave the mountain, mind you. We're just on the mountain, the Magic Mountain. Um, does it matter? Does the context matter? I don't know how to keep it short. Basically, there's talk about spiritual belief systems and scientific belief systems, and the narrator calls people who are more spiritually inclined creative hysterics, creatively hysterical. Not just women, men and women, but I'm not saying it right. But creative hysteric, creative hysterical, or something. The combination of those two is both so offensive but amazing. I love it. I love it when sometimes people put words together that just are perfect. And turbulent regions is one of them. Yeah, I was, but then again, you've never seen Atonement. I've never read it, so that's okay, Storm. It's a great movie in my eyes. I haven't read the book though, so it might be bad. I don't know. Willem Dafoe freaked me out. The first few films I saw him, he played a real psycho. I wondered if they locked him back up after filming. Then it's a good actor. I mean, let's hope. Let's hope. I mean, Benedict is gay, right? Isn't he? Is he gay? Oh God, I'm not sure. I thought he was. And if so, then he was just a great actor because, his inclination in Atonement wasn't exactly that. Storm, yeah, it is a book. It's on my TBR. It might even be in the book club jar. Ian McEwan. I don't like saying that name. It was released in 2001 and is 351 pages if you have a standard edition paperback. Yeah, and he has a pretty important role in the story, and he does it amazing. It's just amazing. If I, whenever I watch it again, because I do watch Atonement every few years, I guess. He's so good. He's so good in that role. Thank you for the follow, Gold Player. Welcome in. It's not on the book club shelf, is it? Let's see. No, it's not. I feel like I probably vetoed it before I changed the rules. Cumberbatch is married to Sophia. Oh no, he's not gay. Why do I think he's gay? Oh, it's because of Sherlock, probably. He's just a good actor in that case. Wait! I'm so sorry. No. Maybe it's just because he has such a fancy name. Why do I think... Maybe he's bi? Nah, the first... I Google Benedict Cumberbatch and the first thing I see is a very interesting still from Sherlock. So it's Sherlock. It's Sherlock. That's why. I told you I went from Atonement to Sherlock. So that's probably. I hope he has no dirty laundry hidden in the closet because that would be sad. I do like him. Oh no. But these days. Who is Sophie Hunter? Okay, look, I'm not completely off because apparently he experimented with his sexuality at an all boys boarding school. So you know, it's not entirely off. I would personally say that we're all a bit gay, but just not completely all of us. But I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Wait, what? Oh, wait. I think this may be just some trickling of actual news into the mixing up of memory and actual news. So he was in the Imitation Game, right? In which he played Turing. I am reading an article on news.com dot au. Is it Australia? I think it's Australia. So it says sexuality is at the forefront of Cumberbatch's hotly anticipated film, The Imitation Game, in which he plays Alan Turing, a gay man who was widely credited with cracking the Enigma code during World War II. Tragically, Turing committed suicide after the war when he was convicted of engaging in homosexual relations. Following a lengthy campaign, Turing was pardoned by the Queen in 2013, but for Cumberbatch, it was a case of a little too late. I think he is an ally, and I just never thought more than the surface level. It's an insult for anybody of authority or standing to sign off on him with their approval and say, oh, he's forgiven. The only person who should be doing the forgiving is Turing, and he can't because we killed him. And it makes me really angry. It makes me very angry. Yeah, I think I'm I'm just mixing the things I know about the real world with an image I have of him solely on screen, and it got confused. He has to be Storm, but you know what? I've been learning things that are really unpleasant. So you never know. You never know. I mean, until we have the full list, we don't know anything. Sherlock was a great series starring Cumberbatch, probably because it was so well devised and written by Mark Gatiss. But Benedict Sherlock character was he is so good, so good. And Sherlock is such a specific character. If you don't do him well, he's just going to be an asshole, which he is. He is. This is a fact because what's his face? Who came up with him? Author. This is not a spoiler because these stories are old. Killed him off in the end because he couldn't stand having Sherlock in his head anymore. It's not funny, but it kind of is a little bit. Where is it snowing? I'm jealous. I've been here since no instant walk due to brush glaring. How are we doing today? It's snowing here. It's not snowing here. Send it over here, please, because maybe then people will stop going outside. And I can leave my house in calmness. Hi, Kevlar. How are you doing? Thank you. You look amazing as well. Conan Doyle. Is he part of Sherlock? The making of Sherlock? Sherlock is such a good show. Just the details are impeccable. It's one of my favorite shows. Oh, from Sherlock. Yes, that's Arthur. Oh, I'm so sorry. I am at the end of my rope. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, he killed him off. He was very tired. I can imagine having a Sherlock. Well, Cumberbatch's Sherlock would be. No, that would start to rub on you. I don't know how Watson puts up with him full time. Hmm. 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 He got jealous that Holmes was more popular than him. I mean, could be. I wouldn't be surprised. I have a sense about people. I can tell a lot about someone depending on the vibe from them. Yeah, but some people are so good at lying. So Psychopaths are a real thing, and they're not all bad. Psychopathy is just a word for describing a cluster of symptoms. Being a psychopath just means that you're wired differently, basically. But if not taken into consideration and found out, it could lead to trouble. It usually does if it's not. Um, so I can't find that book. I once found a book in a bookstore and I could have sworn I put it in my TBR, but when I got home, it wasn't there anymore. It was written by a woman who was a top CEO, and she talked openly about her being a sociopath and how everyone else around her in top positions was a sociopath as well. I'm not sure if someone could, with sociopathy, could write something like Sherlock Holmes, though. Some people have played Among Us. Ah, no, I didn't. I didn't. No, I wish I did. No, I didn't. I don't, because I would have. I would have actually got. I don't think that's my game. I'm not good with anxiety-inducing games, and that would have freaked me out. That's why I don't listen to their words or look at them with more than just eyes. Nah. I mean, I hope you're good at it, but because it's. I don't know, man. I don't know. They make amazing surgeons, Loop. Yeah, that's true. Sociopaths, psychopaths are a little bit more unhinged. Not to be rude, but that's a little bit more unhinged. But basically, we need sociopaths because I couldn't do things that surgeons do. I don't think, unless in a very, very, very stressful situation, but willingly every day, I couldn't. I couldn't. Most of us couldn't. Lucy Worsley had a short TV series called Holmes versus Doyle. Do I know this? Sorry, I had to finish the article. I hope he's a good guy. See what the thing about what's his name, Ashton Kutcher? I don't trust him. I don't trust him, and he does amazing things, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna say anything. What was it, Holmes versus Doyle? Let me see if I recognize it. That was weird. I don't recognize it. Great mustache, though. The guy. Amazing. No, I don't want to play Among Us. First of all, I don't have the tech, I don't think. But also, that stresses me out. Just watching it makes me upset. And I would not want to be the person. I couldn't. I would just be giggling constantly or yelling. I would give myself away instantly. I'm not a good poker player. I don't think it's a good idea. I was watching the robot destroy a kitchen while trying to cook. Can't wait to see one perform intricate surgery. Wait, what? What wisdom? Creature was involved in a spurious case of murder. I don't trust. What? That's not even what I was thinking about. I think he's sus. I think he's sus, but that is. What do you mean? Talking about psychopaths just made me instantly think of I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. Are you talking about Hannibal? That's something that Hannibal would say. Hi, Elf. Glaze Elf. Can I just say Elf? Welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Hope you're having a good day. This is so unhinged. What did I say in my go live message? Morbid Monday, Torture Tuesday. I didn't say anything. I thought I said something like that. I didn't. Okay, well then. Arthur Conan Doyle also wrote a sci-fi book called The Lost World about finding dinosaurs in South America. Why do I feel like that's a story that belongs in the same? Was it Doyle? Journey to the Center of the World. I feel like that should be the same author. I was right about my little sister's ex-boyfriend. At the time they were together, she was 16 and he was 18, which was my first red flag. Everyone else had met him before I did and thought he was okay. When I finally met him, I knew there was something off about him. I made clear to the family I didn't like him and they all dismissed it. They were together for not too long before it came out I was cheating on her. Oh, no. Hone that skill because you might need it. I feel like we're all getting a little bit more unhinged every year. Silence of the Lambs! Oh, I thought this show. But that actually makes sense. Oh no, I opened up Pandora's box. I feel like Jules Verne. Yeah, that's it. Journey to the Center of the Earth. That was a trip. I don't know if you've read it, but it's not very long. It's short, but it's a trip. No pun intended, actually. Okay, good Storm. I have just been hiding. I'm obviously a avoidant, anxious avoidant, which makes my curiosity a curse. I tell you. Thank you, Wisdom. I'll go into it a little later. I'm going to calm down now, make a little bit of tea. I'm going to make a detox tea made of nettle, actually. One of the weeds that we have been brainwashed to clean out. But now I have to pay for same weeds because they... Anyway, thank you so much for being here. I made it to page 64, which isn't too bad, given the distractions and the creepy men staring in my windows and stuff. I've read it. It amazes me how different the movies based on the book are from the book. I have not seen the movie. I'm not sure I could. I mean, in general, no, but I don't think it's my genre. I don't think it's my genre. This is a little bit better, quite a bit. Tomorrow we'll be back at 10 for a regular co-working stream. I won't be. Well, I might be reading. But I've got lots of things to work on for YouTube and stuff for next year. I'm so excited. Hi, Ghost in the Latte. I'm just closing off. I'm so sorry. I'll be back tomorrow, though. Check the schedule to see what that means for you. Don't forget to drink water. I am very bad at drinking water lately, so I'll tell you a different time, Storm. It's okay. It's okay. He knows I'm ready to fight, right? Hope to see you very soon. I love you. Be kind to yourself and to other people. But don't let anyone walk all over you, all right? You deserve better than that. All right. I'm going to run. I just dropped a bomb and I'm going to run. Bye!